Okay, so we are starting a little bit late, so I'm going to try to go through this. I want to make sure there's always so many questions, and I love all the questions for social media. So I want to make sure we have time at the end. If we can hold questions until the end, I want to make sure I can get through every platform today. And I am free afterwards. Come find me if you have a chance to ask your questions. Okay, in case you're unaware, we're here to talk about social media. I'm going to be talking all about the platforms, okay? So first, I'll give a little brief introduction so you know who I am, why I'm ending up here. High-level social media strategy. I'm going to tell you the things that you have to know no matter what platform you're on. These are questions you need to get figured out for yourself or your brand. And then we're going to dive into actual platforms. So today we're going to talk about LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and X. I'm going to give a disclaimer now. X is what used to be known as Twitter. I apologize. I'm probably going to say Twitter and not even realize it. I've been talking about Twitter for 15 plus years. It's so hard for me to say X. But X is Twitter, same thing. And then we'll end with a little Q&A. Okay, so who am I? Why am I here? Why do I know so much about social media? My name is Maggie Lensky. I actually gained experience by working with some of the largest brands in the world. So I ran Gatorade social media accounts for years. I did Dannon Yogurt, ExxonMobil, Toyota. I worked in really large, big global agencies. I absolutely loved it. I hit what's called the burnout. I don't know if anyone's here familiar with that. But I got burned out. Really had that itch to go off on my own. So I finally did that about 3.5 years ago, and I created what's called Wrinkles Content Studio. My goal is to take what I learned with these big companies. They, believe it or not, didn't always give us a big budget. So you don't need to have millions of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars, even thousands of dollars to have good content to resonate with your audience. My goal is to take that experience to smaller businesses to help you all grow and be seen. Honestly, smaller businesses are who need social media, who need content more than anybody. You all need the brand awareness. So I'm happy to help teach you how to get there. Okay, my company is called Wrinkles Content Studio. Number one question I get, why Wrinkles? It is actually a family name, so that is where the name came from. I focus on social media, email, and blog marketing. I do it for lifestyle brands, so I've worked with also consultants, B2B companies all the time as well. Honestly, I'm here to support founders in whatever capacity they need. So on one scale, I teach master classes to teach founders how to DIY their own social. They're maybe not ready to hire an agency to do it for them, so I teach them how to do it. Then I also have clients I work one-on-one on. They have a team, but I give them the strategy. And then all the way to the far extreme, I do all their content. Create it all, post it all for them. They don't even have to look at it if they never want to. So really, my company, I'm really here to help meet founders where their needs actually are. Okay, so high-level look at some social media strategies. Again, the things I'm going to talk through are things you need to know no matter what platform you're on. The first thing is, what is your objective? Especially any of the marketing people are like, oh yeah, of course, it's the first thing we gotta know. You have to know, why are you on social media? What is the main goal? You might have a few different reasons. You gotta figure out the one. The next thing, you gotta know your target audience. Again, marketing 101, but it's so key for social media. And lastly, what we're gonna really dive in today is, what platform should you actually be on? You might not actually need to be on 8, on 6, on 4. Maybe you only need to be on 1. Or if you're on 1, hey, you might find out you're missing opportunity. Maybe you need to be on 2 or 3. So first thing first, know your objective. This one in your target audience, throughout this presentation, you're gonna see me keep going back to it. So know your objective. You have to identify what that is. There's so many different things that your objective could be. It can be to grow brand awareness. So many small businesses, that is what they're looking to do. Grow brand awareness, that means get eyeballs on you, your business, your content, get people to know who you are. Spark conversation and reach new leads. Are you trying to build a community? Are you trying to educate people, educate potential consumers? Increase engagement, convert sales, find new leads, grab new business. There's so many things, more than just what's listed here. These are some of the most common ones. But it's so key for you to know why you're on social media, because that is going to determine everything you do. That will determine why you create certain type of content, why you show up in certain places, and how you interact with your audience. It's also going to tell you what success looks like. So big buzzword in the marketing world, KPI stands for Key Performance Indicator. That is essentially just telling you, am I actually successful in my goal and what I'm trying to do on social media? So say your goal is to increase engagement. Then when it comes to looking at your analytics, you're gonna wanna focus on your engagement analytics. Are people saving my stuff? Are they sharing it? Are they liking it? Are they commenting? If so, then that means you're being successful in reaching your goal. If not, maybe you need to tweak some things.
But if your ultimate goal or objective is to convert sales, you're going to look at very different metrics. One, are you making sales? Two, are you growing following? Are people sharing it out? Are people clicking through links on your Instagram, your LinkedIn, whatever it might be? So you're going to be looking at different metrics depending on what your objective is. So absolutely know your objective. You're going to hear this probably 20 times today, so I apologize. Second, know your audience. Again, this is something, no matter what type of marketing you're doing, you have to know who your audience is. One, to even know if they're going to buy your product or service, but so that you can reach them. I've had so many people come to me wanting to work together, and I go, great, tell me more about your product. Then we get to the audience. Tell me about your audience. Well, this is a product for everyone in the world. Ooh. Okay, I mean, I believe it. That's great. I love the ambition. I cannot do anything with that from a marketing perspective. You have to really niche it down. So don't be coming to me and say, oh, it's about 18 to 65-year-old men and women. They talk very differently. They show up very differently. They're on different platforms. You might be reaching, two different audiences, but you're going to talk to them differently. If you have that wide of an audience, it's going to be impossible to actually reach and resonate with them. So some things you want to know: who are they? What are they interested in? Why are they going to want to follow you? Why are they going to care about the content that you put out? One thing to know, and we'll really dive into this, audiences are going to differ per platform. So you might be trying to reach millennial business leaders and you're on LinkedIn for that, but your target audience is also Gen Z. So, okay, maybe we should hop on TikTok. You're going to talk very differently on those platforms and to those audiences. Millennials and Gen Z, we share some things in common. We talk very differently. We have very different interests, and more, we're calling it out to each other. So you want to make sure you know what they are so that you're actually resonating with them. Once you know your audience, you can better outline your content and where to show up for them. Lastly, and what we're going to dive into today, know your platforms. All the platforms, and I'm laughing at myself because, of course, I already said it. I put the Twitter logo. It has a new logo. It should be an X. But you all know Twitter. So they all have different capabilities, different strengths. They were built for different reasons, and that is why they are strong in certain things that they do. So you want to know those strengths, lean into them, but also make sure you're showing up where your audience actually is in the way that they talk and resonate on the platform. So let's talk about our platforms. All of them, and all as in, 5 I think we got today, 5 or 6. The first up is LinkedIn. I'll be honest, this is quickly becoming one of my favorites, if not already my favorite platform. Raise your hand if you have a personal account on LinkedIn. Okay, now keep your hand raised if you are actively posting on LinkedIn. A good chunk went down. Honestly, more stood up or kept up than I thought, which is awesome. But that is why LinkedIn has been amazing. Just about everybody is on LinkedIn. They have personal accounts, but a very small percentage is actually engaging and posting, which means there's opportunity for you. So if you feel like, and this is the same for a company page too, if you feel like on other platforms you're screaming into a black hole, hey, I'm over here, someone pay attention, and no one's paying attention, on LinkedIn you're actually going to get more traction than others because it's not as much of a crowded space. So if you're getting started or wanting to do more social, go to LinkedIn, assuming it's the right platform for you. So LinkedIn, it is the professionally focused social media platform. It was made for business professionals. To the point that I'm going to challenge you to go home today, look at who you're connected with. There's a chance you might not be connected to family members, old friends, think like high school, college, old colleagues. Just the other day, it pinged me, I'm like, do you know this person? It was my uncle. I'm like, oh my God. And I'm like close to them. I'm like, yeah, I know him. That is because LinkedIn, from the day one, has always been such a business mindset that you might not even realize that people, outside of the business world, you might not even be connected with. So because of that, everyone's on LinkedIn in that business mindset. It's best for thought leadership, storytelling, advocacy, and reaching people in that business mindset. Your demographics, this is important to know. Your largest age group is 25 to 34. We're right in that millennial age. Demographics for the breakdown of gender, you've got scaling a little bit more on the male side, 56 male and 43% female. Some key opportunities, a few of these we're going to dive more into, but you can showcase your expertise with knowledge-based post, advice, and thought leadership. That's what people are looking for on LinkedIn, and that's what they're going to promote in their algorithm. You want to engage in conversation in the comments. It's going to do better for you. You're going to perform better if you're engaging with other people. And lastly, as I mentioned, network with existing relationships and build connections with business leaders and experts. Your network makes a huge difference on LinkedIn, maybe more so than any other platform. So 3 ways to win. First, share advice and knowledge. I just said that. That is what the platform is for. About a year ago, LinkedIn updated their algorithm. If you're not familiar, the algorithm is essentially what's going on in the back end, a whole lot of like data tech stuff. I can't explain it all, but it is determining what is going to be put in front of you as a user. It thinks it knows you better than you know yourself, and it's going to give you the content that is going to keep you on that platform. That is every single platform they have an algorithm. LinkedIn actually updated it a year ago, and they were very transparent about it, which we all really appreciate. They said to win on our platform now, you need to be showcasing your expertise. Share that thought leadership. Talk about what you do. Give advice in the category that you're an expert in. This is what they deem as knowledge or advice content. The post must speak to a specific audience. So again, who's your audience? And talk directly to them. The second is the author speaking on a topic within their field. You might be wondering, well, how do they know that? Somehow in the back end, AI, a lot of fun stuff back there. It is, when you post, it's quickly searching and scrumming your profile. And it's going to make sure what you're posting about, you're actually an expert on. I'm an expert in content strategy, social media. If I were to post about trucking, maybe it's not going to be accurate information. I don't know how to give the right advice on what type of truck to go buy. I don't have much healthcare experience. You're not going to want to know what prescription drugs to get from me. Please don't take my advice. Well, LinkedIn's doing the same thing. It's trying to decrease misinformation. So in order to be deemed an expert in your space, you got to make sure your profile is updated to reflect that. Second way to tell your perspective. LinkedIn is looking for unique perspectives. If you're putting out generic information, social media is cool. Okay, great, literally everyone knows that. Or maybe not everyone agrees. But that's gonna be less rewarded. Instead, if I were to draw to more of my writers' insights and give more perspective on here's why it's cool or here's why it can be cool for you, blah, 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 you do a lot better than just a generic statement. The platform is really rewarding content that shares those unique perspectives. I've had multiple clients who are seeing a ton of success on LinkedIn, and what we're doing is sharing that unique perspective. Not to say it always needs to be combative or against the grain in any way, but oftentimes hey, I know everyone believes X, but I think you should do the opposite. Here's why. A lot of times those posts do really well. Only be posting that if you actually agree with whatever the opposite is. Make sure you're always putting out truthful information. But be unique in what you're posting. And the third way to win, again, it's all about your connections. So the way the algorithm now works, as soon as you post, it is going to give your post out to those who are directly connected to you. So if they engage, this is anyone that you've said, yep, I know this person.
About like that intellectual, like I need to feed that part of me. Having those thought leaders and those visionaries in your life who aren't going to talk to you about parenting and also talk to you about business and ideas and challenges.
You have
where you go next.
Engage with your content. Asked all the time, Maggie, do you accept the random people that linked in with you? Not always. First, I focus on, I do a little research. One, are they from Kansas?
People who are there because this is hard.
And after an event like this, I might not be able to meet everyone. You're welcome to link in with me, except seeing everyone's from Kansas City. But if I get a random person from Texas, we have no connections, I'm like, I don't know that I likely won't accept it. So don't feel like you accept everybody. Know too, there's value in who you do accept. Okay, so a few examples. I know these screenshots are probably super tiny for you, but first here on the left-hand side is Nike. So this is a photo. They're just highlighting what life is like if you work at, at Nike. This is their interns. Honestly, I looked at that. I was like, I missed my opportunity to be an intern, or maybe I should go be one now. Looks super fun. This other post they have is sharing a unique perspective and really standing for something. They say a commitment to inclusivity, strong female leadership, competitive benefits, and flexible work options. Blah, 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 blah. They even have a quote from a Nike manager really leaning into it. So it's a unique perspective, but you're really getting a sense for who the brand is. So that's a company example. Here on the left-hand side, a really great follow, kind of a content creator, a content influencer on LinkedIn. His name is Justin Welsh. He puts out fantastic content, super high engaging, and it works. It's always short little snippets to get you in. Most people network like amateurs. This is great advice for us to know today. Fix it by doing these 3 things. Present yourself carefully, use a value-driven approach, become a connector with a whole lot of other information in there. Then he ends it. If you're struggling to network or grow your LinkedIn, here's my blueprint. So you're getting people, likely is getting people into his email list to get a blueprint, or I'm not sure. Okay, but he is hooking everybody and provide that advice. So the ultimate question, should you be on LinkedIn? Again, it's always going to go back to those first key strategies. Is your target audience on LinkedIn? Objectives to find leads with businesses or professionals. Are you trying to showcase yourself or your company as an expert? Are you trying to build a community with consumers who are in that business mindset? Are you trying to attract and retain talent? And then, of course, does advice or knowledge-based content support your business efforts? Such a big question. If you're answering yes to all of these, it might be the right platform for you. I will say what can be unique on LinkedIn, it might be the right fit for you personally, but maybe not for your brand. A good example for that is like retail or fashion. I don't know how many people are buying a shirt off of LinkedIn. Maybe that's gonna grow, but from a founder perspective, you have a unique POV to provide. Here's what life is like when I opened up my retail store. You're gonna share advice through that and get people just to more emotionally connect with your story through LinkedIn. So there could be a chance that LinkedIn, it's like, not right for my company, but it could be right for you personally. Okay, next up, my actual favorite is Instagram, both as a personal user, yes. Yes, great question. It could really go either way. I think one is going back to your objective. If your objective is I have the side hustle, I'm trying to grow it so it becomes the full thing, you might want to be fully honed in on that. You can mix it. So they have a long section for a bio. Have both things in your bio. In your headline, that's going to give your title. Have both things in there. I see multiple people that I'm a podcaster, I'm a speaker, I'm blah, blah, blah. So you can have all of that mixed in. And then when you're posting content, post about both your business life and your side hustle. I post all the time more about social media content, but and one of my best performing posts, I happen to mention how I did maternity leave when I was off working for myself. I was like, I didn't expect that to resonate, but it did because so many people in my audience had that. So there can be interests outside of just your business that you talk about. Okay, Instagram. So Instagram was made for storytelling and community building. Back really built for photography. It still really stands that way. People want to look at these aesthetically pleasing photos, even if it might not be real life. People want to see that. They're looking for relatable content and connection. I think Instagram has done such a great job of building community, maybe more so than any other platform. Their largest age group, a little bit younger, 30% of them are 18 to 24-year-old, and then you're pretty split, half and half between male and female. Your key opportunities are to leverage platform capabilities to garner engagement and build a community. Tap into various forms of content. So they have reels, carousel stories. You want to be using all the types of use strong SEO, search engine optimization, in keywords. Gone are the days where your hashtags, 30 of them on your Instagram because it would help people find you. It's not working like that anymore. It's now actually searching like a Google would search. So it's going to search your caption. So you don't need a ton of hashtags. Make excuse me, in your caption. And then sell your products directly through the platform. If you are a retail shop, if you're a product-based company and you have an e-commerce site, please connect it to Instagram. If you have an Instagram account, people are shopping on Instagram. It is so seamless. You're missing out on opportunities there. 3 ways to win on Instagram. First, leverage a mix of reels and carousels. Reels are the biggest driver of reach. So 2-3 years ago, they came out and said, hey, we're no longer a photo platform, we're a video platform, and the world freaked out. You had the Kardashians weighing in like, absolutely not, Instagram, that's not why we're here. So they pulled it back. So it's still and photos, but in doing that, they're still performing best in terms of reach. If you're trying to grow brand awareness, reach people that don't follow you, be posting reels. My other favorite are carousels. So this is a static photo. And there's more than one posted at a time, so you got to swipe to see all of them. They are performing so well. Anytime someone, that's considered an engagement. They don't have to like, they don't have to. Boom, that's telling content. Now, about 2 weeks ago, they came out and said, if you now add music to your carousel, it's going to tell the algorithm. Please be doing this. You're going to get the reach and the engagement. It is like a goal. Please start leaning into that. And this is such a platform, like lean into the trends. You know, it might feel uncomfortable and it feels aligned with your brand and your audience. Try some things out. Yeah, so question is, do you have to legally buy the music? So if you, yes, you business account and you're set up as a business, you're already blocked from a lot of music that you can't use. So it is only offering you music that people have said, yes, people can reuse this. If you are a business and you're set up as a creator account, a personal account, it's going to give you all the Taylor Swift songs. It'll give you any song you want. That technically is illegal. So smaller businesses, they're not getting, it's a risk, maybe a low risk at this time, but more and more people are getting sued for using unlicensed music, unlicensed images. So say you took a Taylor Swift photo and posted it, that actually is illegal. People are now starting to sue and they are winning. So you do have to be really careful with taking content that you don't actually own. Not so much individuals, more businesses is who they're going for. Yep. It's tough. So if you're set up as a business account, usually everything in there is safe. The safest way to do it is get stock. This is also why there's a huge trend that people are getting little mics. They're talking and just doing VO with no music because now they fully own that and they're never going to have a risk of someone coming and taking their audio from them. Okay, Instagram stories. Oh, love Instagram stories. These are huge. This is how you're going to build community. More and more people are actually only checking Instagram stories before they even look at their feed. So post often. If it's possible, I post once a day. You're going to be in great shape. I say that. But they have great engagement tools that people are going to naturally engage. Last thing, so big on Instagram. Therefore, you need to be engaging yourself. This is my biggest tip. Please don't just be posting content waiting for people to come to you. Go follow people on there. Instagram is going to see you. It's going to perform better. There are like little tricks and tips, tricks and tips that right after you post, people often then go spend 15 minutes, 30 minutes quickly engaging. You posted might actually perform. Dedicate anywhere 15 minutes is okay. You might be spending 60 minutes. Scroller. Okay, if you're a mindless scroller, go. Okay, in your favor to do that. Okay, I'm going to show you some examples. I will be honest, it's going to be a little tricky, but I want to make sure you guys have a chance to see these. Here we go. Hang with me here. Oh my gosh, hold on. Okay, so this is actually Pink Antler, if you guys are familiar, here in town. This is a great little reel that they've done. Let's see if their audience can work on it. Apologies, it's not working like it's supposed to. So essentially is they are having content pop. This might look really intense to create. These are actually just photos. So they're sitting there likely with a tripod. Place the book down, take a photo. Put the flowers down, take a photo. And then it all just gets wrapped together and edited in Instagram. So super easy to make. They then here, they're asking which pieces are you adding first? They even had someone, may I ask what size ghosts and pumpkins? They responded with it. I guarantee you they made a sale. So such a great example of a way to engage. Sorry, this is a later video you're gonna see. Okay, so here's one over here too. Okay, so that is more of a B2B, so they do graphic design. Again, that might look really intense. It's actually just photos likely made in Canva of like here's showcasing some of the work that we did. So really fun, really engaging. That's gonna get you to stop scrolling in your feed. Let me go back to our presentation for you. Okay, and then over here on the right-hand side, this is what it looks like if you have your shop set up. So this is an adorable brand for kids. This here on the left-hand side, this is what it looks like before you tap it. As soon as you tap it, boom, all these pop up. I can buy literally a in this image. I think even the football is included. So it's amazing. If I just tap one of these little things, I love that skirt for my daughter. I'm going to tap it. I can buy it right then and there. I don't even have to leave the platform. It's huge. Connect your shop. This right here. Yep, so this is just Instagram shop. So it's just a normal photo, but you have your shop set up. So then when you post your images, you just tag the product.
So a question on that.
Yeah.
Do you think it's better to have people buy directly off of Instagram or to route over to your site?
It kind of depends. I think it also depends on how your site's set up. If you're trying to gather extra information, it's super intuitive just to buy within the platform. Instagram is wanting people to do that, so they never leave. It's still a great user experience if you drive them to your site. It still pulls up within the same thread. They might not even realize they've left Instagram.
Instagram sends them to your site, you have to pay Instagram or anything like that?
You shouldn't have to. No, it's so seamless. And then if you're on Shopify, like a lot of the big websites, they have this integration with Instagram, and it's the easiest thing to set up. Okay, so should you be on Instagram? One, is your target audience there? Is one of your objectives to reach new buyers, sell products, spark conversation, grow your audience? Do you have ownable, visually appealing video and photography assets? That's so key. If you don't have a lot of content in terms of visuals, Instagram might be really tough. If you're saying yes to all of that, Instagram might be right. Okay, I'm going to try to speed up a little bit to make up for some time earlier. So Facebook. Okay, this honestly is kind of shocking to me. It is actually still the most used social media platform. I think I hear it all the time. I'm like, are people actually still on Facebook? Yes, they are. Everybody's still on Facebook. It's best for creating a home base for your business. So that means people might be landing on your Facebook page to see what hours you're open, where you're located, how to contact you before even landing on your website. It's a great spot for a home base. Your demographics, you're looking at 25 to 34-year-old. It skews much more on the male side. Key opportunities. Gain learnings and reach through a Facebook business account. You want to share a variety of content. So both content type, so videos versus photos versus, what's great about Facebook is you don't have to have an image, so you can just do copy only. And subject matter. Be sure you're giving them a lot of variety in what you're talking about and posting about. Then cross-post content with your Instagram. If you're set up as a Facebook business account, you can connect it to your Instagram, seamlessly cross-post. It's amazing. Lastly, through Meta, which is the parent company of both Facebook and Instagram, you can tap into analytics and paid campaigns. So if you're wanting to run paid ads, you should probably be on Facebook and maybe Instagram if you're going to run them on both. 3 ways to win. The first is post questions and drive discussions with followers. Facebook's really best for fostering conversations through the comments. I'm sure you have friends, especially family members, they're posting stuff. Maybe it's political, maybe it's not, but they're posting stuff to try to get people to talk on Facebook. That's what they're wanting. So you as a brand should lean into that. I'm not saying post politics, you probably shouldn't at all, but post stuff knowing people on there are wanting to have a conversation and to feel seen and heard. Second thing, connect your Facebook to your Instagram account if you have one. It is so seamless. I actually have a lot of clients where Instagram is the focus, and I tell them, go ahead and get a Facebook, connect them in case anyone finds you on Facebook. They're at least going to see content. We never even have to look at it. Same the other way around. If you're really not focused on Instagram, but you have a Facebook, it might be beneficial to just be cross-posting between the two. It's going to help you get better analytics. You're going to be able to see more, digest things a little bit better, and leverage paid ads. What's great about Meta is you can say, hey, I want to run this paid ad. I don't know, maybe I want it on both Facebook and Instagram. It will run it on both platforms, and it gets smart over time as your money is being spent, and it's going to shift to one platform or the other depending on what's performing better. So you might start, $200 campaign, $25 in, they're like, oh, everyone on Instagram is actually liking this more. They're going to shift the rest of that money over to Instagram, and you might not have known that that was actually going to perform better. And then the third thing, leverage different types of content and then engage. Again, engage with everybody. So they're going to be receiving a mix of content in their feed. So they're going to get a mix of video, they're going to get a mix of images or static. They know, the platform knows which one you prefer. So give them a mix so that you're hitting everybody and giving them what they like. Again, don't forget about those simple status posts. You don't have to always have an image. Sometimes those perform better. And then once you've posted, engage with other people's content.
So I've noticed when you post a reel on Instagram and then have it automatically post on Facebook that the watch count on Facebook is significantly higher than on Instagram. Do you know why that would be?
It could just depend on your audience. If you're building, it sounds like you might be building it with Facebook in mind. So it could just be more optimized and built to attract people on Facebook more so. On Instagram. Well, and that's great. So I would.
It's higher
That's great. So keep cross-posting. You might be learning you have more audience and more engagement on Facebook. Yep, so there's not necessarily a science between why my platform might be better outside of really the audience and how they engage. Yeah.
Is it better to have a Facebook account or a Facebook page for your business?
So you want to create, first and foremost, a company page. I have had some clients who have accidentally started their business page as a person. You don't want that. So you first want a business page, but then you do want to set up a business account. That's going to give you access to Meta Business Suite, and that gives you way more things. It's going to give you access to ads, better analytics, a lot more stuff. So it's just a parent company thing versus a Facebook thing.
So, because like I have a personal Facebook page.
Yep.
Or account, and then I have a Facebook page for my business. So should I create a second Facebook account for my business?
Nope. No, and the way Facebook is set up, it's like, I understand it, but it's also semi-annoying. Your business stuff is always going to be connected to a personal account. So the way you have it set up is great. I would keep it that way. Don't create a whole new one just for your business. Okay, some really quick examples. Any Peloton riders in here? A few. Okay, I am also a Peloton rider, and we will tell you we love to talk about Peloton. Come ask us about it. We will talk about it all day, so we all need to chat afterwards. So they knew that, and so they created a private group. So if you're a Peloton user, you can get into their group. There's like 700,000 members, and they know people love to talk about Peloton, so they put them all in a group, and guess what they talk about? Peloton. So they will go through and they curate great content that they know everyone's gonna wanna know about. This is some update with one of their coaches. Some other examples here, you got McLean's Bakery, which is, the best. So simple, cherry, blueberry, or cheese. And guess what? Everyone's in the comments saying what they preferred. Because let's be real, we all have an opinion. For me, I'll take all three. And then Amy Porterfield, she is more B2B. She does consulting. In here, it's a whole thing about being great as an entrepreneur. But it ends with tag an entrepreneur you're proud of in the comments. And boom, you're getting people naturally in the comments. And they're tagging people. So now more people are going to see it, and then they're going to engage. Lastly, here's an example of an ad. I've got young kids, Old Navy. Whew, they got me down to a science. So here in the white screenshot, that's me on Facebook. The exact same time, I then hop over to Instagram. Boom, they got me over there. So just an example of an ad that you can be serving out on both. I'm not entirely sure why they have it set up this way, or they've figured me out in some way that if I'm on Facebook, I'm thinking about the kids. And I guess I'm shopping for myself when I'm on Instagram, which, yeah, that sounds about right. So love ads. Should you be on Facebook? So one is your target audience on Facebook. Is one of your objectives to increase your reach, invest in paid ads, grow a following, build a group, or drive conversation, or you're trying to drive awareness about your brand? Do you need to create a home base for your brand? Maybe you don't have a website, but you're like, I just want people to know how to contact me, what we do, and Facebook might be a good option for that. Okay, we got two more to go through. TikTok, the hot new platform. The number one question I get, should I be on TikTok? TikTok is fun. I will guarantee it also will suck so much time out of your day. Don't do it. It's a video-first, culturally relevant platform. It's best for leaning into cultural trends, truths, and leveraging short-form content. The demographics, they skew young, 18 to 24. I'm gonna be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if it's actually younger and they just can't report that it's a younger audience than that. It is split very evenly, male and female. Key opportunities, we're going to talk a lot about this, is leaning into cultural trends and tapping into them in a timely manner. This is a great way to tell a story through authentic video content. Find your audience and build content specific to them. And then, similar to Instagram, maybe even more so, have fun, try new things. It's literally what TikTok is for. Okay, number one, and I will be honest, this is usually why it's really tough for small businesses to do well and stay consistent on TikTok. You have to create a ton of content. The recommendation is to post at least one video a day, at least. And that is a lot. I know how much it takes to create video content. So that a lot of times when I talk to small businesses, that is usually the hang up, is just not having the means or resources to pull that off. Though I also know others that are super scrappy and it works really well for them. To grow your following, always be engaging, always be posting content. Again, that short form vertical video is gonna do best for you. The second thing, this is huge. You need to leverage real-time moments and trends. More and more cultural trends are starting on TikTok. The best example, you're watching NFL football on Sunday. They do this like hilarious touchdown dance. maybe 50 to 75% of the time, that dance is actually from TikTok. That's a perfect example that TikTok is now, culture used to, reflect in what would happen on TikTok. It's the other way. Anything you see in culture, there's a good chance to start on TikTok first. Know what's going on with your audience. You gotta know what they're interested in. What are they talking about literally right there in the moment? And then you gotta be able to pull something together and respond to it. Because the other thing on TikTok, people move on so fast. That trend might be gone in a day. You're lucky if it makes it 3 to 5 days. The biggest joke too is if you see a trend on Instagram, it started maybe 2 weeks ago on TikTok. So if you're late to it, just go post it on Instagram. You might actually start the trend over there. The third thing, a really good option is actually lean into influencers. Influencers are crushing it right now on TikTok. Tap into them so you can reach that bigger audience if you're starting fresh and maybe don't have the audience. If so, try to find ones that really align with your brand and ones that you can work with ongoing over a long period of time. We don't need to fully dive into it. Another big caution, if you're like, I don't know if I should get on TikTok right now. Right now I'm cautioning a lot of people because TikTok might be going away. We don't know what's happening. That is a government mandated thing. We're gonna find out in a few short months. It might be completely gone. If you're on TikTok, continue doing what you're doing, but make sure you're focusing on your other platforms. If you're like, I don't know if TikTok's right for me, maybe just wait it out and see what happens and see if we have TikTok in a few months.
Question on influence.
Yeah.
At what level of followers do you think, obviously more is better, but like what's kind of the minimum threshold that you would consider working with an influencer, and like how do you feel about actually paying them?
Absolutely pay them. More and more, there is open conversation on the influencer side, and they all know what everyone's getting paid. So if you're gonna work with influencers, expect to pay them. A few options is you can send them free product and like cross your fingers, they're gonna post about it without any like, hey, I'm only sending you this if you post. Working with the ones with the highest followers is not always the best option, actually. What's known as micro influencers, these are people with 10,000 followers, maybe 20, you're really under that, even like 7K, 5K. What is amazing about them is they have a very dedicated audience. You're likely gonna be getting better engagement from those than people with 2 million audiences, or 2 million followers. So say those 2 million followers, yes, a lot of people are gonna see it, but if they're not converting, is that really gonna help you? And 2 million are gonna be paying a lot more for them to post than the 7K. So it really depends, like how, number-wise, like really get their engagement numbers, see how they really perform. If they are so aligned with your audience, you might be making money by working with them and they only have 2,000 followers. But if they're like hardcore followers, they live and die by what they say, and they're straight up in your audience, it could be a really good fit. So there's really no minimum number necessarily, but make sure it's the right fit.
Do you think it's better to pay them an outright flat fee, or do you think it's better to give them like a percentage of sales?
I'm like, you got some behind it.
If I can speak out,
Go for it.
I have 4 million followers on TikTok, and if a company approaches me, and I get approached daily, and they are not paying me, I block them.
Yeah.
Do not approach influencers and offer trades or things like that.
They want.
Pay people if you want them to talk about your brand.
Yeah. And often, sometimes the best way to approach them is, hey, we love what you do. We love your content. We think we're aligned audience-wise. What's your rate? I mean, that's the best way to get, like, let them tell you what the rate is. And then you're like, ooh, out of my budget, thank you. You're on my wish list. Or it might be in your budget. So you just kind of have to ask around if you know people or, engage with people that have a strong following, ask them, like, what's your typical rate, just to start learning. There are a few websites, too, made for influencers that is for transparency, but it can, as a marketer, help you learn, oh, okay, this is what this website, everyone is saying they're getting paid, just to give you an idea of what it really costs. Yes?
How do you start with an influencer? Do you like just go in their DMs and start asking them, hey,
Yes. Yeah, they are so used to it. Yes, a lot of them now, they will in their bio provide their email or like contact information. A lot of them now, especially bigger ones, they have agents. So go through their agent, go through their email. If they don't have it, go to their DMs. Give them a few days. If they're not responding, there's a chance either they're not interested or they might not have seen it yet. But usually have a few influencers in mind that you would want to work with in case some or one falls through. Have a few options that you can go to. Okay, a few more videos. We got about 10 minutes left. I think we're going to pull this off. Again, it's going to be a little clunky, so bear with me. But, I mean, who just doesn't want to see Cookie Monster? Okay, let me pause it. Oh my gosh, it worked. I don't know how it came up here. Okay, wait, let me start over. Oh my God, it heard me. Okay. At least I have a witness that I wasn't doing that by myself. Oh my God, no. Okay, this one's so funny. We gotta have the volume. All right, let's try this again.
All this work, and what did it get me? All this work, and what did it get me? All this work, and what did it get me? All this work, and what did it get me?
Okay, I hear some snickers. I'm like, I know you guys are on TikTok. Okay, this, if you're like, what is this? It is TikTok culture. This song was not originally sung by him, and it was this common song. It was put in all these videos, totally went viral. Him redoing it is honestly the most epic thing. They have such a great pulse on what's going on in culture in TikTok. Sesame Street is killing it. And you might be like, why? Their like audience are toddlers. They're on TikTok going for the parents. I'm the perfect person to fit this. I mean, it's nostalgia of like, I grew up with this. Absolutely, my kids are now watching it. It's Cookie Monster, come on over, let's watch this together. And you know, they watch it, they're like, I don't know what I'm seeing. But this is great, perfectly tapping into culture. I'm like, yeah, so 150,000 likes. That's not even view count. View count, I wouldn't be surprised if you're over 500,000, if maybe not fully 1 million. Let me, oh my God, she's playing somewhere. The amount of teasing this video has gotten today. I'm like, I hope it lives up to the hype. Okay.
Through eating a Chipotle burrito. This is the size of my head. Wonderskin and Chipotle did a collab, and they're calling it Lipotle. Okay, let's apply this lip stain. Oh my God, look at that color. It's kind of giving gloss. Okay, now we're going to dry.
Okay. We don't need to watch the whole thing. Okay, so perfect example of working with an influencer. Also, brand collaboration. Influencers doesn't have to be a person. It can be collaborating with another brand. Who would have ever had on their bingo card that Chipotle would have a makeup line? Honestly, well, we have one person. You would know.
It's been done by 3 other makers.
That's true. I know, it has been done. But it's perfect. It aligns with their audience. They knew this brand, this makeup brand, has the exact same audience. Those people, after they go put on their lip stuff, they're going to Chipotle. So let's partner together. They made I forget what the official title, but like essentially it dries on and then you rip it off. So that's why it looks green. She did not wear green around. When she rips it off, it looks beautiful. But her saying it's giving guac, I'm like, she said, I was like, girl, you're right. Now I'm like, maybe I need to buy it. So perfect example, launching the product. Maybe they launched it on their own platforms too, but I can guarantee you, having her do it and actually try it on, she probably does a lot of makeup tutorials. I know she has a large following. There's the perfect combination. So few TikTok examples for you. I know. Honestly, I'm close to buying it just because it looks like guac. It's iconic. Oh my gosh. Oh, wait, that same one? Oh, you're our influencer. Get up here. No. Oh my God, I love that you use it. Now I'm going to seriously go buy it. Okay, so TikTok, same question as always. Is your audience there? Objectives, are you trying to increase your reach? Are you trying to build brand awareness or grow your audience through influencer possibilities? Are you gonna connect with your audience through relatable content? Biggest thing for TikTok, can you post frequently and can you keep up with the cultural trends? If you're saying yes, then TikTok might be right for you. Okay, last one. X, formerly known as Twitter. Okay, someone keep account of how many times I accidentally say Twitter in this one. X, it's for real-time conversations. That's why it got started, first and foremost. It's best for tapping into, kind of similar to TikTok in a very different way, tapping into culturally relevant topics, trends, and breaking news. Your largest age group is 25 to 34, and it actually, probably more than any platform, skews heavy on the male side. Key opportunities, those culturally relevant topics and conversations. Utilize community management and social listening to stay up to date. I'm going to explain a little bit more what that is. Be timely. You have to be in the moment. You're going to hear me say that phrase a handful of times. You got to be in the moment when it comes to Twitter, when it comes to X. Repurpose content with retweets and user-generated content. User-generated content is someone, say you sell shirts, someone putting on your shirt and posting about it, and you get to repurpose what they put out there. That's called user-generated content. Some of my favorite content because you don't have to make it. Okay, 3 ways to win on X. The first is to leverage real-time moments and trends. You have to be in the moment. Okay, 2 weeks ago or whatever, when Mahomes seemed to have gotten hurt during the game, everyone's pulling up Twitter like, is he actually hurt? What do we know? What do we know? I don't know why this example is in my brain, but like 2 years ago in the Academy Awards when Will Smith did the slap, and then like the TV kind of cut out and everyone's kind of like, wait, did that just happen? What just happened? Everyone's on X. Everyone's trying to figure out what actually happened. That's the first place to go. Any breaking news, anything, X is the first place to hear about it. There's oftentimes you're going to find out about X in any news station, anywhere else, it's going to be on X. So because of that, you also have to be in the moment. I'll tell you when I worked on Gatorade, we had 20 plus Gatorade athletes. part of our job to be in the moment is we had content that was pre-planned for all of them. We knew what big milestones they were going to hit as an athlete. Okay, are they going to hit maybe 100 home runs this year, whatever it might be. We would have posts already ready, and then someone on our team would have to monitor the game. And when he hit the 100th home run, boom, we're live, and we were usually one of the first ones to post. So it might be that, thought through of having to be in the moment, that it's already going to be pre-created. It doesn't have to be that, but you got to have someone there who can monitor what's happening so that you're quick and can respond. Know what your audience is talking about. Are they talking about the slap? And then should you engage with that? That might be one you not want to actually say anything on, even if your audience is talking about it. Okay, number 2, social listening. That means that there are some platforms that you can do it, or you can do it manually if you have someone with the team in time to do it. That is where you're listening to your audience. What are they talking about? A good example is if, there's a company called Oatly. They do non-dairy products. They're social listening for people who are talking about milk. And then they go comment of like, why are you drinking milk when you can have this? So it's a brilliant strategy for them, but they are listening to see and find people who are talking about milk outside of just their own product. But you can use social listening to find mentions of people who are talking about you, your industry, and can chime in there. Last thing, tweet or retweet, if that's an option, often with optimized content. So there's a few things for you to know about the algorithm. It's set up to reward likes and retweets. So that means you should be posting stuff that is going to get people to like it and to retweet it. Then more people will see it, and guess what? More people are going to like it and retweet it. You really want to stay on brand. So on the back end, kind of like how LinkedIn is set up. On the back end, they're clustered you in with a certain type of account. They have you deemed as somebody. Stay within that. So if you're posting, content that you're an expert in, you're likely staying within your cluster. When you start getting out of that, it's a way to tone down any misinformation. When you start getting outside of that, they might not think you're an expert, so therefore it's not going to do as well. Okay, my favorite one. I'm such a grammar nerd. Use spell check. They actually look for spelling mistakes, and they think that is spam. So unless you're purposely, for some reason, trying to misspell stuff, always use spell check. Honestly, please do that on all your content. Okay, a few last examples. I think we're going to pull this off today. So Merriam-Webster, oh my gosh, you guys, they are one of the best follows, really on all platforms. They are fire. I love them. Again, grammar nerd. So Merriam-Webster, the dictionary. Over here on the left-hand side, they recently asked, which word spelling feels like gaslighting? And then they have almost 10 million views. That's how many people engaged with this. For them, the word that feels like you're being gaslit is the word colonel, like a colonel in an army. I literally still cannot spell this word. I felt so seen. I'm like, thank you. And then you throw in Avril Lavigne. Oh, please, you've got me hooked. Okay, another one. This was pretty recent. So this random, I don't know who this person is, posted, my aunt woke up from a 13-year coma. That post, original post from someone random, had like 150 million views. Like it went completely viral. Merriam-Webster is like, oh, wait, let me help out. They pop on and say, please let her know these are now words. Rando, girl boss, selfie, twerk, bougie, clickbait, WTF, photobomb, and Riz. It is so on brand for them. It is perfect. And it is so accurate. You're like, yeah, those are all new words within the past 13 years. This one's super recent on election day. Super key, posted in the morning before election talks really getting started. The difference between poll. So P-O-L-E as like a physical poll, or P-O-L-L with the emoji. That's if you were going to go vote. Very on brand, in the moment. Everyone's talking about the election. Everyone's voting in that time. Okay, another one. Wendy's. They have won so many awards. They have grown so much business through Wendy's, through their Twitter, and through X in particular. These are two older examples, just because they're so iconic, but there's so many. If you popped on now, they're known for roasting people, to the point people now ask them, hey, Wendy's, will you roast me? And they don't hold back. It's hilarious. So here's some great examples. This was 2019. Chance the Rapper. This is when I worked back at the company that did Wendy's, and I know this was not a paid thing. He posted positive affirmations for today. I will have a good day. I will succeed today. Wendy's will bring back spicy nuggets at some point. Please, 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 Lord, let it be today. They see that. Also, Chance the Rapper posting about you. Absolutely jump on that. Same day, Wendy's replies, y'all keep asking, so here's your chance. The people in charge say if you guys can get this tweet, this one right here, to 2 million likes, they will bring spicy chicken nuggets back. Let's freaking do this. They've got 2.1 million, and you know what? They did bring them back. What they did honestly is absolutely insane. Within the same day, they laddered this all the way up to their high, execs, everybody say, hey, can we bring back spicy chicken nuggets? It's not an easy yes. Anyone that like has any type of inventory, I can't even imagine they're like dealing with franchises across the country and just say, yeah, you know what, we can make that happen. It's absolutely insane. And they got 2 million likes and who knows how many sales out of that. Another wonderful one, they are known for trolling McDonald's. McDonald's is their #1 competitor, and they get them so hard on X, it's amazing. This one's super old, but oh my gosh, it lives in my brain forever. McDonald's posted, Black Friday, need copy and link. Okay, this is like a social media manager's absolute nightmare, that you're gonna forget to change your copy. And that's what happened. So Wendy's, same day replies, when the tweets are as broken as the ice cream machine. I'm like, it is so true. Every time you go to McDonald's, our McFlurry machine's not working. Okay, so should you be on X? Is your target audience there? Some key objectives. Is it to build brand awareness, increase engagement, connect with your audience, spark conversation, and grow a following? Are you able to post frequently? Similar to TikTok, can you monitor in the moment? Last few things, then we'll answer questions. I know we're wrapping out of time, so I'll be out in the hall too if you guys want to talk more directly. But if you're wanting to learn more, I actually created a social media masterclass. It's called the Social Proof Collective, and I built it specifically for small businesses. I was meeting with so many boutique owners, small brands, startups, especially here in town. They need social media, but they don't have the funds to hire someone yet. So I started this masterclass so I could teach them how to do their own social. So that time, that effort, those resources actually are going back and working for them, and maybe they're not having to spend as much time and resources. It's a 6 weeks masterclass. You'll have an additional working session with me. It's actually being held in person. So it's every Tuesday morning. My next one is going to be in January. I hold it in person so that you have a chance to meet other founders in the room or their team members. You get to know each other's businesses. You get to support one another. Bare minimum, you're going to start following each other on social media. But it's really to build community. I intentionally keep these classes small. Lastly, you're going to walk away with a social playbook. So that is a strategy. I'm going to help you build your own strategy for the first 4 weeks. And then the last 2 weeks are me telling you much more than what you saw today, all the tips and tricks to bring it to life so that you can actually succeed. So a few things of what you're going to learn in the class: how to generate awareness for your brand, how to determine your content buckets, create an effective content calendar. Biggest question I get too, how often should I actually be posting? What day should I be posting on? I'll give you all that tips. What's your brand's personality? How do you create an identifiable look and feel so that your brand can stick out in the feed? I dig deeper into Instagram and LinkedIn's algorithms, what optimizations you should be making to your profile. Maybe your bios aren't set up the best way that it could be. When to use reels, carousel, stories, collaborations, how to post more efficiently. I'm also a small business owner. It's exhausting. I work in social. I know how to do social, and I also get burnt out of it. So I'm really going to teach you tricks on how to start enjoying it again. I've had a founder who said this social media content calendar alone was worth the cost of the course. There's a QR code here if you want to learn more, reserve a spot. Lastly, my goal is I just want you to actually enjoy doing social every day or every week, and that way can actually work in favor for your brand. I had a dear founder say, I'm feeling, dare I say, excited about social. This course, every bit as helpful as I thought it would be. I do actually am starting a virtual session as well in January. If you're able to join in person, I love that in-person atmosphere, so I do recommend that, but there's a virtual option as well. And that, my friends, I'm only maybe 2 or 3 minutes late, is everything. So here's my contact information. You're welcome to shoot me an email, visit me on my website. Of course, follow me on social media. That's really why I'm here. No, I'm joking. But also, if you join my website, I do give out a weekly newsletter with free content tips. So you're welcome to pop on there. So thank you all so much. I hope you all learned a little bit. I'm excited to find you on all the platforms. So thank you for being here. I think we're technically out of time. I can ask until someone comes and kicks me out. Any quick questions?
Insight on Blue Sky.
I will be honest, I don't know Blue Sky as well. So I'm starting to dig into it. I don't have many insights there, enough to be positive in giving you any direction. So, yes.
On LinkedIn,